I'm not sure until we purchase that property, get the survey done. How quickly you need to move. Obviously the gas line's going to be relocated, but this time of year is a bad time of year for that to continue to fall. And to the extent we need just a temporary agreement from him to allow us to cut back that roadway while we work on the agreement, cut back your hillside, we could just do it by license agreement. If for some reason we can't work out a deal where the township can take that over, obviously we can use eminent domain, but because of the pressing need, if we could have some immediate ability, at least to your own schedules, that's not an issue. We should, Bill, maybe coordinate with, I'm sorry, I didn't get your
Jerry.
We coordinate with Jerry, we'll knock out an agreement so we at least know we can cut that back, because I'm sure that's going to keep falling.
Sure.
So let's get that done.
And then we can work on a plan to go ahead and shore up that hillside so it doesn't keep falling down into the creek.
I have a question here.
Do we need to do a motion on this or anything, or do we just give you authorization?
I think we need some.
We'll get to you.
I think we need some authorization to use this bill.
Because I think this is an emergency situation, needs to be addressed right now, so.
I think the board should vote with some parameters as to if you want to include the potential acquisition of that, at least the temporary use of that other side of the roadway. Because we have to come
On the
back.
high side.
Yeah, we have to come back and negotiate that.
License agreement.
Working with a temporary with John, at least for right now, so that we can alleviate this problem.
And then the township would move then to permanently purchase that, but that might hang us up a little bit. Even to get specific dimensions, we don't have yet. Because I'm not sure they're going to know what to need. So maybe include that in the motion and we'll work out a temporary license agreement to use the high side of that property.
We make a motion to go ahead and work with the property owner, Jerry, here to do a temporary land acquisition so that we can move the road over and then address the hillside too. That's sliding
License agreement.
with Kate.
Oh, thank you. The license agreement.
It would be a temporary license agreement with the understanding. The real motion here would be to authorize Gateway to put a plan in place for whatever emergency measures need to happen.
Okay.
I'll make that in the form of a motion.
And I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. So passed. Okay, I think that takes care of the temporary thing. I think what we need to do is review on Coleman here and talk with Dan and maybe sit down and have a meeting at one time and see what we think we can move forward on first out there.
I'm going to suggest that we have a meeting with the property owners on Coleman Road and with Dan and supervisors. And we see where we go with this.
Yeah, but this almost put this property owner on the spot in front of all his neighbors. What's he going to say in front of all his neighbors? If we can all get together in a workshop here, people can express their concerns. We can have pictures of all your property, of how much shaving we have to do, and it might be minimum on some of the properties.
Well, some of the problem, Tom, is the driveway.
What?
You make a 6-foot bank, you got a driveway.
Right. That's the point. We have to show them how it would look. I think Dan can help us with that, what we would do for restoration and things like that.
Okay, I can agree. We'll just move forward with that then.
Wait, there's someone back here, Bob.
Yeah, I had just a comment here that might be helpful there. I know you have a lot of developments going on over in South Point, some of these bigger commercial sites. These guys are in there digging with the big tractors and that, they're digging out all this big rock and that, all these boulders and that. Could you give them some kind of an approach, a couple of these people that are digging out some of this limestone and that, some of these big boulders that they're jackhammering and blasting out? Could you approach them and give them a credit or something for something like this here, instead of spending all that money for that riprap and that, which I know is ideal under the cost is no object, but they're throwing all those big boulders away. You could come in there and fill that void in with that, and then choke it off for a lot less money. Maybe it's not like you'd have to spend $250,000 on stone. You would have most of it.
Well, unsized boulders like that you can't make them stable. They're the ones they buy their size so that they do.
Well, I understand that, but it's not stable now, and when you're talking about a savings of $250,000, you can still choke it in with. You could substitute that a little bit and still choke it in and build that back up to something acceptable. And then one other comment that might be helpful too, if Bill only has 3 weeks to do his paving, once he gets the paver up and going, what about just leasing a couple triaxles off the lane down there, 2 of their triaxles and drivers to help you get the asphalt in? It would, you probably, if you said if you had the asphalt there, you'd be able to get a lot more, since you don't have enough adequate trucks and drivers. What about just leasing, having the township to, I mean, I think it's a shame, Bill, you have to go through what you did just to get a $6,000 repair done. I could see if it was $60,000, but $6,000 buys tires for a truck today. I mean, I think that was ridiculous up there. But anyway, moving on, what about just leasing a couple of triaxles and drivers off the lane for the month that you're going to do the paving? You're probably doubling your paving.
I'd have to take a look at the Shayclaw contract. Normally they bid those contracts FOB and delivered. There's 2 prices in the contract, so you'd have to take a look at that. There's a free on board price where we go down and pick it up. They also usually bid a delivered price. And I'd have to take a look and see what the delivered price is. There's a premium charge for the delivered price.
Well, you might be able to, maybe you can just put it out in the paper there and tell them you want to lease 2 triaxles and drivers.
Yeah, we'd have to take a look at that.
Look into that. Is there any more comments on this,
As
or?
long as they have their insurance policy, it's going to be adequate. What difference does it make? I mean, it would just help you, that's all.
Don't
Double your production
He's
through.
authorized to contact the property owners. We don't need a form of a motion, but he wants them to have that direction.
Do you want to set a date? The board suggested meeting with all the residents. I'll get the
Yeah,
contact
we have to
information.
do
Do you want to suggest a date? I'll get that for the document.
as soon as possible. We need to get started on this year.
Put it out to us, Dawn, and then see, put some dates out, and we'll respond to them, okay? And we'll set up a meeting with everyone.
What about, what's next week like? The week of the 21st?
Give Gateway much time to get anything. Let's work off at the end.
Oh, Dan, I thought you said Don. Dan, what's your schedule like?
Mondays are generally bad. Mondays are generally bad. If you go into next week, generally Wednesdays are good for Wednesday or Thursday.
What about April 30th? Does that give you enough time?
Yeah, I think we should be fine.
We all good for April 30th?
Wednesday, Tom.
How about a Thursday, the
April
24th?
1st, Thursday, May 1st.
Bob, Bender, you said something?
Will that give Gateway enough time to do what they have to do?
That's what I just asked Dan. He said
That's what
yes.
we're asking, that's why we're working with Danny to come up with some dates. We want him to be able to have some ideas.
Yeah, we have a good idea on the effect on the properties, we just have to get some bigger maps together.
Exactly, so how about the Thursday, the 24th, would that work?
No, there's a Columbia Gas meeting Thursday.
Okay, that would work.
We can do it, and we can't do it Wednesday. How about Tuesday?
Tuesday, the 22nd?
Man. Like man.
Dan, 22nd, Tuesday?
You have some more work, Joe.
I can make the 22nd.
Okay, name and time.
Want to do 7 o'clock in a meeting room here?
7 o'clock, good for all the residents?
What day?
April 22nd, Tuesday.
That's good with everybody, I think, yeah.
Okay, good. 7 o'clock, Dan?
Yeah, that's fine.
Wednesday, the 22nd?
No, Tuesday.
Tuesday, the 22nd, at 7 o'clock here. We'll have a workshop to discuss things. Okay?
And it'll be limited to Coleman Road discussion, right?
Discussion. Okay, we'll move on. Resolution number 65-2014, consider, oh, I missed, oh, right. The Hofrichter, we're going to do an executive session tonight at the end of the meeting. We'll talk about that later. 65, 2014, consider a pension plan professional service resolution as recommended by the Auditor General. Would you like to elaborate on that first one?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, as you're aware, I did send a copy of this resolution to all board members via email. And if you read it, it was relatively self-explanatory. What the Auditor General is recommending is that all municipalities have a written procedure for how they choose professional services when it comes to pension plans. So all of this resolution is a list of guidelines that the